Hey there, welcome. I'm Shawnee, the crypto goddess, here bringing you another video about toxic positivity. I want to go on ahead and get started, but before we get into that, I want you to go on ahead and click on that subscribe button. Yes, click on the subscribe button and let's get into it. So, the topic for today is going to be toxic positivity. And what do I mean by toxic positivity? It's the type of positivity that asks you to ignore feelings of discomfort, feelings of discontent, negative feelings, feelings of pain, and anger, frustration. It's pretty much asking you to just, oh, well, it could have been worse. Look on the bright side. It happens to everyone. Stuff like that. And although I am all for being positive, don't get me wrong, okay? I feel like there should be some sort of a framework for allowing yourself to express the negative emotions, because life is just as much positive as it is negative. So if anyone sits here and tries to tell you that, oh, it's all positive, etc., you're either full of it, right? You're trying to manipulate or take advantage of it and have somebody just looking at rainbows and it's not real. Okay. That's the one thing that never sat with me when I started with personal development. Personal development is so wonderful and it's so great because it has opened me up to so many different ways of processing everything that I'm going through in life, whether it be my shadow, whether it be dark psychology, whether it be positivity, gratitude, forgiveness. These are all things that you are introduced to in personal development, maybe not the dark psychology and all that other stuff, because again, that's negative. Those are things that people don't want you to acknowledge. But my problem, or the problem that I had with it, was not acknowledging it and trying to push it down and act as though it didn't exist wasn't right for me. It led me to then keep the thoughts in my head, and instead of expressing them or getting them out or just releasing them, then they kind of ruminated in my head and I'm bouncing them around. Next thing you know, it's days, weeks, months, maybe even later, and I'm still thinking about this stuff because I never created a framework for allowing myself to feel those feelings and then to find out what are those feelings trying to tell me. Imagine not having negative emotions or not having any pain, and a snake bites you. You have a poisonous snake bite you. You're going to die literally in minutes. And guess what? You don't feel any pain. You're only feeling happy, good feelings. And you fall out right there and die. Pain is there, I feel, to alert you to something that is making you feel in a way that's not, it's not comfortable, and it's bringing your awareness to something that needs attention, right? When you're feeling good, you're feeling great, you don't have that sense of awareness. You're not being asked to, hey, take a look at this, I'm hurting. Hey, take a look at this, it's painful. Hey, take a look at this, it's uncomfortable, because it feels good. I know I love feeling good. And if I'm like most people, which I'm pretty sure we all like to feel good, I want us to reframe positivity and negativity. I like to reframe it to desirable and maybe less desirable. Because life is the same amount of positive and negative, right? We live in a world of duality, polarity, up, down, in, out, night, day, etc. It was just all day. That would be pretty awkward. I mean, maybe the people in Alaska experience that for several months out of the year. However, it's not just like that 365 days, right? They also do get the opposite of that, right? So I'm thinking like, it never just felt genuine to only focus on the positive. Now, hey, let me stop here first and let me just say this. I do not want to be around a person that only focuses on negative. I don't want to be around a person that no matter what, they are never happy. They're always complaining. They never have any type of gratitude. They feel like everybody owe them shit. Hey, check this out. I am not wanting to be around that person no more than I'm wanting to be around the person who's like, oh, look at the good side, do this, do that, and not give you an opportunity to in a healthy way, work through those things, and then just ask you to push them off like that. That's not nothing. because it is. Well, it is for me. So what I did, first off, let me say, what I did was go through this journey in my life. The past 18 months, I would say, have been a journey. It's been a growth. It's been wonderful, actually. It started off light. Everything's going good. Then it's just, I don't even know when it all started to change, but little by little, gradually, it just started going from light to dim, a little bit more dim. Now it's dark. And I mean, it's like pitch black. I can't even see my hand right in front of my face. And at that time, so much was happening. I had people coming into my life. I had people leaving my life. I had a lot going on, especially in the area of my relationships. Like every single relationship that I had was under review. Okay. And what it got me to do was to really sit with some uncomfortable feelings just to find out, like, why do I feel this? What are these feelings trying to tell me? What are they bringing attention to? What needs work? And if I did not go through that, I would not be here talking to you right now. I would not have figured out what the answer was for me, what the answers are for me. And I wouldn't have had the courage or developed the courage to stand on my own 2 feet, because I don't need a whole crowd of people. I don't need a whole team of people pushing me on, cheering me on, etc. That would be great. That would be lovely. But I got the main person that I need, and that's God. God is cheering me on. God adores me. God is fueling this journey, right? But had I not have taken that time to really just like go in and understand and really, really just accept that, really accept it, embrace it, I would be too busy running around trying to do you. And me trying to do you never came out right because, again, it wasn't me. It's me trying to do you. Wasn't working for me. So anyhow, I'm grateful that I found my voice. I'm grateful that I have the courage to figure out what that is for me. I'm grateful that I'm a woman that can stand on her own 2 feet. I love having a tribe. I love having a family. But you don't need a whole lot of friends, honey. You just need one real good one. And I have that too. Amen. Anyhow, let's go on ahead and get into this. So during that time, one of the most transformational times, I would say, of my life recently, this book came into my life. This is Lisa Bilyeu. She is a co-founder of Quest Nutrition. And she's a badass, okay? And the reason I say that Lisa's a badass is because this particular book is awesome, okay? It is authentic, it's raw, it's genuine, and she acknowledges the desirable as well as the not so desirable, and actually gives you a framework for expressing that and for feeling it. Now, here's the deal. You don't have an unlimited time to just sit there and wallow in negativity or discomfort or distress, okay? But I think it is healthy to allow yourself to sit with those feelings and find out where they're directing you. Find out what it's trying to tell you. Find out what it is trying to teach you. If you're always being told, hey, look on the bright side, it could have been better, all these other things, and not really dealing with those feelings or those emotions, or even what is it trying to bring your awareness to, you're lost. I was. And so when I sat down and I finally got all the way to the bottom of them, you know what I found out? I found out that, number one, I needed to love me. Self-love, everyone says that they have it. Oh, I love myself. But I really felt like it was lip service. When it comes to actions, when it comes to standards, when it comes to boundaries, when it comes to saying no and not feeling guilty, when it comes to feeling like, hey, being free and being confident enough to stand in yourself, to know that I don't know it. I don't even know what's going to happen. I'm not even sure if I'm going to make it. But you know what I do know? I know that in here, I'm getting aligned, right? I am being authentic to me. And my walk ain't gonna look like yours. It's not. We got different shoes. We got different terrains. We're walking, but we're walking in different paths. And it's okay. A person that's unable to pretty much allow a person to go through their go through and still love them and support them and etc. They're really not a friend. They're not a family member. They're not anyone but a person who wants attention and a person that's probably keeping you around for some sort of leverage or reason. Because most people understand, hey, person's going through something. They're going through life and I love you. I want you to get better. But it's not like, oh, I'm praying for you. I'm doing all this phoniness. Because again, you know when a person is really sincere, really genuine. At least I feel like I do to an extent because there are great, great actors and actresses in the world. They get awards every year. And so saying all that to say, this particular book gave me a framework for allowing myself to process those feelings and then actually being grateful for the fact that my body, my spirit, my creator has allowed those feelings to work within myself. And I'm grateful for those feelings because they have directed me towards areas that I may not have known existed. I may have not wanted to acknowledge. I may not have wanted to even express. But there's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong is dwelling, letting that be your mode of operation, letting that be where you start, where you end, where you begin. That's just you. That's who where you are. But it's nothing wrong with figuring out a healthy framework for processing it. One of the things Lisa said here in Radical Confidence was that when you're building emotional sobriety, yes, there is a such thing as emotional sobriety, and it's not just for positive feelings, it's also for negative ones. And so when you're building your toolbox, you want to give yourself a framework. Okay, life is just as much positive as it is negative. Case in point, Jim Rohn, in one of his very many, many wonderful classes, said that he sat a cup out, maybe on a table somewhere, and the cup had water. And he'd have a number of people just come by and tell me, hey, how do you see this cup? Oh, that cup is half full. It's half full. It's half full. Oh, that cup is half empty. Oh, so you're pessimistic. Oh, you're optimistic. However, another person comes up and says, well, from where I'm standing, I see that the cup is half full. But if I'm to accurately describe it, well, it looks like it's also half empty as well. That is truth or wholeness or balance, okay? Because I wouldn't know anything about positivity if nothing negative or hurtful never happened, right? That's just what it is. So for me, I am so grateful that I know that if I'm having a great day, this too shall pass, and build myself up for the days that are going to come that are maybe not so great. And then also, when the not so great days come, what to do to minimize them from being not so great weeks, months, right? And the way to do that is to give yourself a time limit. Okay. During this time limit, I am going to allow myself to feel all of whatever the situation, event is bringing up. And what I want to do is I want to allow myself to really explore, what are these feelings trying to tell me? What are they telling me? What are they bringing my awareness to? And then when I go to sleep that night, put it to bed. Wake up, refreshed, and then also now in another mode of, okay, so now that I understand what these feelings are bringing, my awareness to, how do I now address it? Right? And depending on what the situation is, there'll always be something different. But I think the first step is yes, you are okay if you express it. Now, maybe you can't express it to everyone, and she's not saying going around and calling up someone. Actually, she said the exact opposite. When you are feeling negative and you are processing the undesirable emotions, you don't want to call up someone. And you know that one person who like, girl, let me tell you what happened. Listen, if you look, you're always going to have support in that arena. You're always going to have someone that's going to say, oh, girl, yeah, and chime in with you. And then now you've given it fuel. You're giving it life. You're giving it air, and it's growing, and it's becoming something, right? She's saying, going ahead, feel that, process it, see what it's calling your attention to, bringing your awareness to. And from that space, reset, and let's go on ahead and start working our way out of it. That is genuine. That is radical confidence. That is me. So like she said, when the shit hits the fan, make sure you got your shit goggles and your bad bitch boots on, because we gonna put them goggles on and our bad bitch boots and walk the heck on up out of there, standing tall, full of radical confidence, knowing that, hey, at the end of the day, this too shall pass. Until next time, folks, I'll see you on the other side. Take care.